All right. There you go. Hi, Vlad. I'm going to introduce you in a second, but just wanted to say what a great start to the event. It was amazing. Even though in my world they're called slightly differently. It's ideal partner profile as opposed to ICP customer profile. I wrote down maybe 10 different kind of takeaways. Some of it is obvious and kind of industry standard, but it's such a good reminder that these are the basics. Phone is a great channel. Know your persona, speak their lingo, uh, make good research, have a paid ChatGPT subscription, create two Reddit profiles to ask wrong questions, or rather give wrong answers. Such a great so again such a great panel. So thanks everyone. Thanks Tim, Brad, and Deepak. Now over to Vlad. So this is our first presentation on our agenda. Vlad is our VP of Growth, who has been our SDR team leader for a number of years. So he's still the best person to talk about, upping your SDR game and sales development game in general. Vlad, thanks for joining us today. I'm gonna give the mic to you, and the floor is yours. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. By the way, I also wanted to say that's a great start of the event. What's a coincidence, right? Feel free to stop me, George, because probably I have maybe even 40 minutes of content, but I will do my best to finish this as fast as possible. Okay, so hello everyone again. Super happy to see you here for the third year in a row. It's like a deja vu for me. The third year, the 3rd October 26th or 25th for me. As always, I'm super happy to be here. Let me start sharing my screen and we can jump to the topic right away. So today I'll be talking about like 5 creative strategies to build targeted lists for your outbound motion, for your outbound and cold outreach processes. My name is Vlad. I'm head of growth here at Reply with SDR's background. I spent probably 6 years here at Reply building our SDR team, building different strategies, trying new things, mostly prospecting, list building, cold outreach, templates, sequences. So I'm still keen on these topics. So that's why I'm super happy to share my ideas on creative list building strategies. So here's what we will cover today. We will talk about 5 strategies to build targeted lists. I will share useful tools on how to implement these strategies, how to build these workflows and playbooks. I will share bonus content, and it's going to be like enormous amount of useful content. So we will share everything in the chat after the presentation. So stay tuned. First of all, why it matters, why creativity, why creative list building strategies are important nowadays. Typically, we all think that cold outreach is all about email templates, sequences, follow-ups. You can just add new prospects to your sequences. You can keep using the same email templates, and you want to expect the same results. But in the reality, right, cold outreach is changing, and it's like a whole new story, especially when it comes to new problems with email deliverability, warm-up, relevance, link tracking, right? And there are a bunch of things that we need to take into account. So to stay up to date, we need to change, and because outreach is changing, and we need, as SDRs, as salespeople, we need to adopt all these new strategies to get what we want, what we need, like booked meetings, right? So here's the first strategy. It's I would say an easy start for us. Some simple strategy here. It's this strategy called Waterfall email finders. For example, we all use different email finders, data vendors, data providers, and typically, probably, they can find maybe 40 to 50 emails from the whole list, right? Then you switch to another provider, and it can find maybe 55% or 60%, and you're still upset because you have 1,000 leads, right? But you can't find maybe 500 out of them because there is no email for them. So there is a new concept, a new trend in list building called waterfall email finders or cascade email finders, whatever they call it. This tool unified different email finders, all like major, all the biggest ones, email finders out there. They just combine them in one place, in one product, under one umbrella. And if provider X can't find it, then probably they will try to go to provider B or C, and again, unless they can find email. So using this waterfall email enrichment or data enrichment process, you can easily increase number of emails in your list. Typically, all these tools state that they can find probably 30 to 40% more emails rather than just only one data provider or email finder. So here are a few waterfall tools like Captain Data, Clay, Waterfall, Full Enrich, and Better Contact. I will encourage to give them a try all because there are some differences in the concept, but they still all about the same. It's all about waterfall tools, waterfall email finding process. Thus, more leads in your cold outreach because you can find more emails. Number 2 is social selling, and I would say that social selling, personal brands, building in public are becoming increasingly important in B2B marketing, B2B sales. So it's a whole new reality for us. And social selling is becoming an important part of cold outreach as well, and list building process. So here are a few ideas on how to utilize social selling for your sales process. Number 1 is social listening. Okay, so here's how it works. Imagine this. There are millions of people who talk online, who ask online about specific issues, specific problems. For example, in this case, people ask about CRM. They want their audience to recommend them a new CRM, and it happens with LinkedIn, it happens with Twitter or X, and it happens with Reddit. So you can use specific tools that will listen all these keywords in the entire internet, and they will send you a feed every day or every hour. They will send you a feed of all new occurs of this intent or this signal. So you can add a prospect to your sequence. For example, if you're selling a CRM software or CRM consulting services, you can say, hey, noticed on your LinkedIn that you have been asking about CRM system for your new business, want to chat about CRMs, something like this. So yeah, social listening is number 1 here. And here are a bunch of tools that can help you with this list building strategy, like Mention, Vario, UScan, Google Alerts, gonna work as well. But probably this strategy will work for high volume, well-known keywords, for example, CRM, or maybe hiring, or maybe, I don't know, marketing tool or something like that. It won't work for a niche or specific verticals, but it will work for high volume keywords. Number 2 is social automations. There are a bunch of tools that help you automate outreach on LinkedIn, X, or even Reddit. So here's how it works. You can scrape or download the list of prospects who follow some person or influencer or decision maker or well-known person in your vertical, your industry, or follow an account of your competitors, let's say on Twitter. So you can just download the list of these people and add them to your sequence. And to be honest, this was one of the most successful sequences here at Reply a few years, because we were able to download the list of followers of some big CRMs on Twitter. And here's how it works. Yeah, you can say, hey, notice you're following, let's say, I don't know, Salesforce on Twitter. Probably you're interested in CRMs. We have integrations with CRM, so you got it right. So yeah, there are a bunch of tools for X, for LinkedIn, and for Reddit here. And strategy number 3 is post likers. It's a more growth hacking strategy, and here's how it works. Imagine that someone created a LinkedIn post, and it's about a problem or an issue. In my case, it's about, let's say, prospecting and as outbound. Sorry, no-code prospecting and outbound as a growth. And this post got like almost 200 likes. So here's what we can do here. We can just download the list of these likes, like people who liked this post, and add them to a sequence saying something, hey, notice that you engaged with Vlad's LinkedIn post on how to use no-code prospecting, love his idea. By the way, we are building a tool for no-code prospecting. Is this something you want to chat about, for example? And I have, let's say, I had probably 5 conversations in the last few months about this strategy, and everyone was saying that this strategy is quite successful for them. There are a bunch of tools that allow you to download the list of people who liked specific posts. It's going to be Phantom Buster, Texao, Captain Data, etc. And bonus content here, the first one. Here's a list of 900 tools. We updated our sales tools catalog. There are now 900 sales tools categorized across 60 different categories. So yeah, you can find everything you want, starting from Twitter outreach, LinkedIn outreach, Reddit outreach, social selling, social listening. Here you can see a bunch of categories out there. Strategy number 3 is warm interest, and probably partnerships. George may say a few words after the presentation on this. Sounds like partnerships and sales are becoming even closer in this decade. Sounds like partnership teams will cooperate with sales teams to introduce probably a new trend in sales development, referral sales, co-selling, co-marketing, partnerships, all about that. So creative strategy number 3 is warm interest and referral sales. So here's how it works. Your company, your SDRs, your salespeople have a list of prospects, for example, 10 companies. And there are a bunch of strategies you can rely on to get into these accounts, right? It's going to be outbound, ABM, ads, I don't know, maybe some outdoor ads, right? Conferences, webinars, etc. But what you can also do, you can ask for an intro to connect you with these 5 companies, to connect you with decision makers from these companies. And you can ask your friends on LinkedIn, check mutual connections, check common connections, and ask for this warm interest. And that's how you can increase chances to get positive response, right? And what they call these days, these strategies, near bound. And there are 3 strategies. There are 3 ways to work with warm interest. Number 1 is buyer and sellers marketplaces. There are some marketplaces where, let's say, B2B sellers and B2B buyers come together, and account executives can schedule calls with decision makers on these marketplaces. I, as a decision maker, can get, let's say, $100 for my time, and an account executive can book a meeting right away. Number 2 is account mapping. You can check with your partners, with your partners, check or account overlaps with your company and your partner company, and then boom, you can ask for an intro or co-sell or co-marketing approach. And warm interest, here's how it works. There are a bunch of tools, the swarm, cable, vector. Here's how it works. You can ask all employees in your company, connect their LinkedIn accounts. These tools will build a huge list of connections into one combined place, and then they will check for connections. And for example, your account executives or your SDRs can ask your colleagues to make an intro with their network. So it's like a whole new approach. To be honest, I haven't given it a try yet, but sounds like this is gonna be a future of outbound and inbound and and partnerships. So super happy to see how this trend will evolve, and sounds like this will work mostly for mid-market and enterprise sales processes. I'm not sure if it works for SMBs, but again, I think it's worth mentioning this strategy. Idea number 4 here is to flip the idea of ideal customer, the company profile. So here's how it works nowadays. Your SDRs know everything about your ideal company profile, ideal buyer profile. Typically, it's going to be something like, let's say for us, SaaS companies located in the US, Europe, something between 11 to 200 employees. And our SDR salespeople know about this ideal company profile, right? And we will just download the list of all accounts that match our profile. Then we will find decision makers in these accounts, and then we will send just generic emails, and we will just thank them. Hey, noticed you're working at a company. I'm not sure if you're in market, but probably you need something for your sales team. Let's chat. And then we will probably add something like PS line. Hey, noticed you're from London or from San Francisco. Just some funny and fun PS intro lines, right? Icebreakers, we call it. But there is a missing piece here. And sounds like the future of outbound and list building is to add an intent layer to your ideal company profile, which means instead of building a list of, let's say, SaaS companies located in North America, we will build something like, okay, I will find companies that are currently hiring SDRs that match my ideal profile, my ideal customer profile. So, and in this case, there is no need to fake our personalization, right? Because we can use intent and triggers as a reason for outreach. So basically, the future of list building and outbound process is trigger-based sequences and list building approach. So there is no need to fake our personalizations. There is no need to fake our email sequences, because we can use triggers as a reason for outreach. And if we talk even more about this specific strategy, we can talk about trigger-based list building. Sometimes they call it signal-based or intent-based. It's still all about the same. It's all about triggers and signals that indicate that B2B buyer is probably ready to talk about your solution, your I don't know, your product, your services, etc. And here are a bunch of triggers, and your company, your salespeople, your like, I don't know, your managers should find those triggers on their own, and just start using them. For example, here a list of 8 probably most frequently used triggers. Number 1 is post likers. I already mentioned this. Just download the list of people who liked a specific post and use this as a reason for outreach. Number 2 is department growth. For example, in Sales Navigator, you can use a filter, department headcount growth. In my case, it's sales when they grow 50 to 100% in 6 months, it means that they're actively growing their sales team. So probably they need sales engagement tools, sales training, consulting services, etc. Right? Because they're like massively increasing their sales team headcount. Strategy number 3 is website changes. This may work for SEO, PPC, marketing agencies. For example, you can track changes on specific websites when they change their main homepage, when they change their pricing, or when there are like new errors on their website, when their, let's say, global rank is drops down, etc. So there's a bunch of triggers related to the website. For example, ads. When they launch new ads, you can detect those changes. Trigger number 4 is job changers. You can reach out to decision makers who changed their job in last 90 days, and then probably when they change their company, probably they want to implement something new. Probably they want to change playbooks. They want maybe to change tools, right? Because they want to, let's say, show off themselves, right? But that's good for us. That's good for us. Technographics, Deepak already mentioned today. This strategy commonly used intent-based strategy for lots of SDR teams. You can download the list of accounts use specific technology or compatible technology with your solution, with your product. Let's say for us here at Reply, we know that companies that use, let's say, Salesforce, Intercom, probably they have a higher chance to chat with us. Hiring trigger, again, when they're actively hiring new salespeople. Startup outreach. This one won't work for high ACV, high contract value deals, but it could be an opportunity for smaller agencies that want to find new opportunities. You can just download the list of recently founded startups, let's say on Product Hunt, Beta List, whatever, and just say, hey, noticed you recently launched a new company. Probably you want, in most cases, they need basic but important services like marketing, blogs, SEO, right? They need maybe PPC ads, maybe some consulting on how to grow, scale faster, right? So this strategy can work for agencies. And dark funnel, you can track companies who are visiting your website. Again, Deepak already mentioned this one. You can track G2 visits. You can track when they are searching something specific in Google, for example, sales engagement, and there are a bunch of tools that can provide this intent data for you. And okay, I spent probably a few hours within the past few days to build this list of 31 more trigger-based outreach ideas. We will share the list with you. So I hope you can find something for your company that will fit your sales development process, your cold outreach process. So yeah, there are a bunch of other trigger-based outreach ideas there. And bonus content, additional bonus content here. Feel free to subscribe to our net new newsletter called Sales Pulse. Probably this one, I'm like 95% confident that that's going to be your next favorite sales newsletter. And it's a weekly newsletter on prospecting, sales advices, lead generation tips, list building tips, all about that. So yeah. Also, let's stay in touch. Here my Linktree account with a bunch of useful tools, links. Happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. And as always, thank you.
All right, thanks, Vlad. Great presentation as always. So we did have a few questions. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I'll just ask one. before, and maybe like 30 seconds before we move on to the next panel. But so you were talking about these triggers. You were talking about these events that are a great trigger for cold outreach, but we all know that the more advanced these triggers are, and the tools providing these triggers, the more expensive the tools providing these triggers. So do you recommend, what's your favorite, basically, if you have any data, if you have any opinion on which triggers would be the most effective if we were to choose post likers, department growth, website changes, all of that? Like what's the best one?
A great question. So probably I would say that probably the biggest trend in sales development and list building is there is a democratization of tools. There are now like thousands of tools, and they are getting cheaper, which is good for us. So you shouldn't spend thousands of dollars to build a tech stack for this trigger-based approach. You can even use Sales Navigator for that. There are a bunch of probably 10 triggers that can be used with Sales Navigator. Probably hiring intent, department growth, company growth, and then probably 5 more triggers. So Sales Navigator is fine. Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Again, thanks for the presentation. We're going to move on.